Hello, hello, welcome to Mindset to Results. And today our guest is Rachael Bassey, and we will speak about very interesting topic: how small businesses can scale using collaborative marketing. Hi, Rachel.
Exactly. Hi, Elena. Lovely, lovely to be here. Thank you so much for having me. And I'm stoked and I can't wait to jump right in.
Yeah, of course, you're most welcome. Thank you also for your time and being so passionate about what you do and sharing with the world. Tell us a little bit about yourself, why you do what you do.
Okay, great question. So a couple of years ago, at the time, worked for a business analytics software called Databox. And at the time, we were a small knit team, and we could only do so much with a team of 3 people. So we basically decided to scale and then, leverage all the talents and resources that we had. And our best bet was to partner with our customers and prospects at the time, being agencies. And so our major focus was just organic marketing. So everything from like SEO, content marketing, everything like that. We did not have a proper sales team at the time where everyone, going outbound and stuff. It was just inbound. And so I started, that was how I started. Like, I'm a connector. I really love to talk to people. I love to meet people. And so I spent a lot of my time on LinkedIn connecting with our ideal customers and then doing a bit of like, getting them to share their expertise, knowledge, and then would collate that and then publish as blog articles. And then from 3 articles a week, we scaled to 5 articles. And then because these people were our ideal customers, eventually they themselves signed up to use our product. And then I was with them for almost 3 years, and then I left for another company that kind of allowed me put to good use everything I learned at Databox to help small companies. I was with them for a bit and then I decided to start my own company. I really believe that you don't need a huge marketing team or huge marketing budget to grow. You just need to have the right tactics and strategy in place to be able to scale. And that is really my mission, to help small businesses looking to scale who say, oh my God, I've spent so much on marketing. I'm not quite sure why I'm not getting results. And then help them see how they can leverage the small team that they have and the small resources that they have to get optimum results.
Yeah, so great. So, what from your experience are the biggest problems which small companies experience?
Oh, okay. I'll try to just narrow it down to, my, expertise. So one is a lot of them are usually not very clear on who they serve and what they do. They want to do everything and want to support everybody. So a recent client of mine, we were going to, do all that I do for other companies. And then I'm like, oh, so tell me about the businesses that you serve, so your ID clients. And then there were about 10 groups. And I'm like, you can't serve all 10 people. We have to narrow down to certain groups because then you're able to tackle their needs better. You can't support everybody because you're just going to be jack of all trades, master of none. And what makes you better than your competitor? Is it a better pricing or you have more features or something? If you're doing everything, then the people don't know you for one thing, right? And so I think a lot of small businesses are a lot of times they're trying to help everybody. They're not clear on their ideal customers and then or their product positioning. Another thing is, of course, budgets. So with the current economy and everything, lots of businesses or business owners are like, scared to invest. It's more like about holding what you have rather than investing more. So it's usually a thing of, capital or budget. They want to grow, but then the finances to do that isn't particularly there. And of course, you have like the small team. So it's like if you have a few people on the team, there's only so much you can do. So it's like, okay, you then have to do the prioritization quadrants. Is this important? Is this urgent? All that kind of thing. Like, or can we should we focus on doing what we know works, or should we jump on the other side because the grass is greener? So I find that a lot of small businesses also pivot too quickly. It's not exactly a bad thing per se, but sometimes you have to play the long game if you're, especially when you're doing organic. So it's like, oh, XYZ company is doing that, so we should do that. This company just changed to AI company or AI software. Now everybody wants to be an AI tool or AI software, So it's like, really sticking to what works. Boring, I have learned, is good. You learn, you change based on feedback, not because someone else says, oh, this other company is doing this, so you should do that as well. So, I mean, there are lots of things, but I just try to kind of streamline the two, what I have seen from my experience.
Yeah, so true. You have to give it time. Yes, first you have to know exactly what is the value and who is your ideal client, and then to focus on that niche and give it time, because you have, as you said, that you have to make the offer and then see feedback, and then change the offer and see what works exactly. And when you know exactly your ideal client, this is how all your marketing messages will be for that exactly group. So when people hear,
Exactly.
they feel, oh, this
Exactly.
is about me, this is exactly what I'm looking for. Yes, that
Exactly.
will resonate with them.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so from your experience, what you would like to share, like which tips you would like to share for small companies, which you said just have a little budget and maybe scared to invest because, of course, if you don't know exactly how to invest, you can just spend so much money and have no result. So, if you
Right.
would like to share maybe some tips, like what they can do to scale, and tell us a little bit about collaborative marketing.
Okay, great. Okay, so right now we know that with AI, we can't continue to do things as we've always done. If you need to Google anything right now, if you need you're interested in a topic or you have an idea and you just put in the query on Google, what you on the top you get AI overview. What that says is a lot is changing about how we do marketing. So first things first is companies need to invest a lot in what I would describe as digital PR. So you need to ask yourself, where are my ideal clients hanging out? And you need to lead with value on those channels, on those platforms. So be it Reddit, be it Slack community, be it Facebook group, be it LinkedIn, lead with value. And because these are the things that, so for example, if on ChatGPT now, if you say, oh, I'm interested in, I know I have a blog article to write, I don't know,
Mhm.
next week. Could you help me with this? And you ask for research sources. What you would get, you typically get links to certain articles. Now, how do you do a lot of that? How do you make sure that your name appears in places that matter most, or your website appears in places that matter most? Those are the kind of questions small business owners should be asking themselves. So that's one. Then two as well is what I specialize in, which is collaborative marketing. So see it this way. Let's say you are a small business owner, and you're the founder of a software that helps like laundromats, for example. So right now you're like, okay, I don't have 50,000 to invest in paid ads, but how do I start with what I have and the limited resources I have? I don't have a marketing team of 10 people. So if I were you, what I would do is come up with decide focus on like creating original research. In industries like this, you don't really have data, you don't really have benchmark reports, you don't have things like this. So you could be the pioneer, right? So it could be like something like how much laundromats spend the average cost of how much laundromats or spend on sales annually, just something like that, or states of washing something 2025. What you would then do is create an ideal client profile. So that is, you need to be, who are your customers, where, like, where are they located, what do they do, things like that. Then you reach out to these people to contribute and collaborate on content. Now, these people are not just, they just don't have they do not just have the subject matter expertise, but they are also your ideal clients. That is, they could benefit a lot from using your software or your product. So what you do is, one, not only do you end up collaborating to create this report, is these people move from being cold contacts to being warm leads.
Mhm.
Such that, so this report can then be repurposed into short form blog articles, dozens of posts on social media. These people would automatically do PR for you. It's just like, for example, I'm on your podcast. When this podcast is then out, alive, I would share. So I have over 17,000 followers on LinkedIn. So automatically my network will get to see your pod. And then maybe someone will be like, oh, I'd like to also be on Elena's podcast, right? So these people automatically do free PR for you as well. And do not forget, they're your ideal customers. So they get your brand to be on the feed of people that really matter. You can then also, if you have a podcast or a webinar, because you have established some sort of contact and connection, you can invite them to be on your podcast or your webinar. It's the same thing. If I had a podcast, for example, relevant to you, Elena, I could as well pitch it to you and say, hey, I've got a podcast. I really enjoyed talking to you. Do you mind coming on my podcast as well? And so the more opportunities you give these people, the more you nurture them to the point that they become actual customers. Because one, they have the subject matter expertise, and two, they are your ideal customers. So you're not only just scaling in terms of your content assets, but also in warm leads and people that matter. These people can as well go ahead to become ambassadors for your product or your software or what you offer. Another thing is, small businesses, over time, you're always trying to validate an idea, a product, improve your service offering, or get feedback, customer feedback on what you're doing. Is this service relevant? Should we launch this product? Should we do this? Should we do that? The more opportunities you provide for you to actually, or touch points you have with your customers and your prospects, the more feedback you get that will then enable you to do better, to put better products, features out there. So I would say definitely invest in digital PR, invest in collaborative marketing, because this would do a whole lot for you in terms of awareness, creating awareness for your brand, for your product. Also, placing your names in places that your name in places that matter, as well as generating sales for your business. It's great. You're connecting with the people that could actually benefit from your product and services.
Yes, so great. Yes, great suggestion. Yes, to bring the value and attract people with the value. Yes, like from cold to warm, and then already you can have so many options.
Exactly. Right. Because also people don't want to be pitch slapped, except it's super niche and narrowed down. So in your case, I reached out to you, right? So in one, I am relevant. Two, you're perfect in terms of niche and things like that. But one way is you have to figure out how to lead with value. I think a lot of people, I'm not putting down cold marketing or cold tactics. It works for the companies and the people that it works for. But business owners need to start asking, how can I lead with value? How can I actually connect with my customers or my prospects in a way that they deem valuable versus, oh, buy, 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 right?
Mhm.
And so right now, also data shows that before people actually make the decision to buy, they already have it in mind. So say, for example, in your case, what you have a software or something, and I'm your ideal customer, maybe something about like let's use the laundromat. We connect over content, but in 1 month, say I really need a software to help my laundry business, with sales and everything, reporting, dashboard, all of that stuff. Your company would come first to mind. Why? Because we've already established contact. So you are not cold anymore to me. You are warm. And it's just going to take me 5 seconds to actually message you to say, hey, I'd like a free trial. So these are how to nurture, how to create warm touch points. That's what I think every business owner should invest or should be investing in.
Yeah, thank you so much for sharing. Yes, it is really a very good way how to connect with people and to provide value and start building relations, because there is so much noise now. Yes, everybody just want to sell, and even on LinkedIn. For me, I so often receive messages when people just send me connection request and just the letter what they want to me to sell, and they don't even know if I want it. Like it is totally like not related even to what I do. So I often write them just at least to go read my profile. So like even
Yeah.
yes, they don't even take time to read your profile and just see if this is what they would offer relevant at all. Yes, so it's really very very now noisy market, and to distinguish ourselves, we have to come
Yes,
from different way, not just selling, but
I agree.
through establishing connections, providing value, letting people know what you do. So this is
Yes,
what makes.
totally.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, LinkedIn is an interesting platform. I have like a love and hate relationship with it, and I agree with you where everyone is trying to sell. I think what helped me is just also just changing my perspective that everyone needs to make money, people need to eat. So before I used to get really annoyed. Now I don't. I'm just like, okay, this person somehow needs to make money. People need to hustle. And so what I do is, even if it's not useful to me in that moment, if the person, somehow tried in terms of personalization, I might just say, hey, I don't need your product or service right now, but I'm open to a conversation. Unfortunately, this is interesting because I think it was 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, this lead generation, it's a company, they do lead management, all that stuff. They reached out to me, hey, they kind of pulled stuff from my recommendation on LinkedIn. Someone recommended me for something. And so they sent me an email. I was like, oh, okay, you tried. I mean, you tried to personalize. And then I said, okay, let's get on this call. I don't need this service right now, but I'm open to a conversation. I'm always open to a conversation if I have some more time. Unfortunately, still the worst call to date. It literally felt like, when you go to school and they tell you, you need to talk like this. It's almost like all these people that have been brainwashed. You have to talk like this. You have to ask specific questions. It felt like I was talking to a robot who had been somewhat groomed to respond in a certain way. And so it was just horrible. And I'm like, horrible, horrible, horrible. And then it also fortunately was also one of those calls that it felt like the person had this goal to close on the first call.
Oh,
So he was like, oh, do you want to get this product for $4,000? And I'm like, I don't even know you. What? I'm not going to give you 4,000. He was like, okay, maybe we can come up with a payments plan. And I'm like, I need some time. And then he was like, oh, okay. I mean, how about just we give you a bit of access for $120? Do you know from 4,000 to $120? All he needed me to do was commit on the first call, and that was such a put. So I mean, at the end of the day, LinkedIn is a strange place right now. It's like you have to post, but the algorithm is weird in itself. So you have to sell, even though you don't want to come off as spammy. It's a place where you kind of need to keep things balanced. So, for example, in your case, what you do with this podcast is such an excellent way to connect with your ideal clients, the panel discussion, everything like that. It's a smooth, warm, soft touch way point or approach to connecting with your ideal clients. And I think lots of business owners could learn a thing or two from your approach, for example, or collaborative marketing, which I just talked about. Is we need to really focus more now on creating more warm touch points. The cold, everyone is just like, even if I need this, I'm not going to talk to you. I don't want to talk to you.
Yes, so great, Rachel. Yes, thank you so much. It was
Yeah.
very valuable discussion, and I'm sure that people who are watching us, they can learn a lot from you. And of course, we encourage everyone to connect with Rachel and see how she can help you with your marketing.
All right. Thank you so much, Elena, for having me. This was wonderful. Thanks a lot.
Yes, thank you so much too, Rachel. You were amazing, and I wish you all the best and see you again
Thank
somewhere
you.
in the future.
All right. Ciao.